Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Um, Sorry, we are starting this very late. The intention was to allow a few people join us, as we move on in the class, but we just have to start now. Today in this session of Sales Georgia, we'll be talking about attracting sales success with HNIs and luxury customers. This is an essential market segment that I believe that everyone that is into selling must take advantage of. Okay, so these are the segment of the society, the population of the society that has the money to spend. Okay, they are the ones that have the resources to expend in selling. I mean, in buying goods and services. Many of us are already affected by the economic crunch. But it will amaze you that people that are into luxury or the HNIs are always buying things. Okay, in some way or the other, they are always looking for, lovely items, things that will appeal to them to spend their money on. Okay, so if these are the set of people that we believe would always have money to spend, I think every salesman must acquire the competence in capturing or taking advantage of this segment of the market. So those are the things we're going to be talking about in about 40 minutes or thereabout. We just want to make the best use of our lunch time. Okay, so for those that are just joining, my name is Benga Johnson. I work with Authors Bridge. We are a sales-focused organization. We provide capability, support, and technology to help selling organizations. All right. So we'll be talking about attracting sales success with HNIs and luxury customers. Okay. So let me go. So I'll be flipping here. I think this is better for us to view. Okay. So when we are talking about HNIs and luxury customers, we need to find out, are they the same? Are we talking about the same set of people? Are luxury customers also, safely described as HNIs? I'm sorry, I'm trying to be sure that you are seeing my screen. I see from my monitoring screen, I'm still seeing. Okay, so yeah, so we should be asked. So we want to know, when we're talking about luxury customers, are we also referring to HNIs? Can we safely consider every luxury customer to be HNIs? Okay. So if you ask me, I will rephrase the question to say, are all HNIs luxury customers? I think that's the safe way to ask the question. Or are all luxury buyers HNIs? Okay, so when we say HNIs, what do we mean? We mean high net worth individuals. We mean the 1% of our population that have, maybe $1 million in Nigeria. In some other countries, for example, in the US, maybe they are considered to be people that have $100 million. Because if I see 100 million naira in Nigeria, I think that would be too little to consider as HNI. So maybe people that have assets, and savings that are worth $1 million, okay, in Nigeria. So we consider those as HNIs, right? So are all HNIs luxury buyers? Or are all luxury buyers HNIs? Okay, so when we say luxury buyers, I mean that's very straightforward. People that consume luxury items, people that consume luxury goods and services, right? Are they all high net worth individuals? Now, if we look very closely, we will realize that not all HNIs are luxury buyers. If you look closely around you, or maybe you go onto the internet, you do a lot of study, you will see people that are very wealthy, okay, and then they live very very simple life. Let's use that word to describe them. Okay, they are not, they don't enjoy luxury, and sometimes some of those things are maybe from personal beliefs or from spiritual beliefs. And that's in our own local, colloquial description. We say, oh, these people don't know how to enjoy life or something like that. It is not because they don't know how to enjoy life. It's because of their, their makeup or their belief system. Okay. So they have the money to spend to buy luxury. Okay. But they are not, they are not so excited about, the feelings of luxury. Okay. And if you now also ask, so with that, we can settle to say that not all HNIs are luxury buyers. Some people are very wealthy, but they are comfortable with buying products that every other person buys. Okay. They are comfortable eating the common food that every other person eats. Okay. Because they just feel like, okay, I have this money. And then I was doing some research some days ago and I saw some very wealthy people, outside Nigeria. Some of them, I think there's an Indian that about the top 5 richest person in India. This man eats in the same canteen where the junior staff of the organization. In fact, there's no junior staff. Where everybody eats. I mean, one of the things that touched me more was the fact that the car that the man drives was a second-hand vehicle that he bought from one of his staff. So you can imagine that kind of a personality. So this is someone that is employing somebody, but bought a Mercedes Benz from one of the staff, who needed to sell it. And they, oh, I like this car. And then he bought a second-hand vehicle from one of his employees, So there are people like that, not because they don't enjoy, but they are just, that's because of their belief. And some people are also very religious. And so they decide to live those kind of Spartan, like, those kind of lives that, they are not, they are not carried away with luxury. And then we also want to ask the question, are all luxury buyers HNIs? Okay, no. Okay, there are people who are barely surviving, and you will find out that they spend almost everything they earn on enjoying the good things of life. So those people are also living based on philosophy. So they feel that what is in this world, what is in you make the money, you spend the money. Okay. And then some of us in our colloquial representation, we can also say people are living fake lives or something like that. No. Okay. So not all HNIs are luxury buyers or customers, because some people have the money, but hey, some of them have given. There are people, there are wealthy people, multi-billion, not multi-million naires in dollars, who have given a substantial amount of their money away to charity. Okay. Some of them are living in old houses that they have lived for 30 years, for 40 years. They don't want to live in expansive estates or luxury homes and all of that. They just feel that this money that I've made is not for me, it's for humanity. So my conclusion about this description is just that every man's position is valid. So if you choose to live a life that does not exude how much you owe, or you try to say everything I earn, I spend, just to enjoy the life, well, that's good for you. So for us as salespeople, we are not out to judge. We are not out to condemn our customer who is spending everything that he earns on luxury, right? Their position is justified. And we are not also out to condemn those who have the money to spend and they are not spending it on luxury. So your position as a salesperson is to look for the customer, whether the person is an HNI or not. So the person that will find value in buying your product or service are the people that you want to look at. I'll just be flipping these pages, sometimes. Okay, so let's make a little a comparison or distinction. Okay, yeah, so it's working. And let's make a little comparison here. HNIs, as I was saying, so we have individuals who we consider to be HNIs. Like I said, Nigeria, but globally we say $1 million. But Nigeria, I was still looking at this. I said, if you say someone that has 100 million naira, maybe so many people, that won't be 1% of Nigerian population, obviously. Okay, but these are the definitions that you see around. Okay, the HNI. So it's very easy to identify HNIs. Okay, maybe because of the kind of business that they have, where they work, family history, and all of those things. You can easily identify. Sorry, they are not easily identifiable. Sorry, unless you have access to what they are worth. Okay, those are the HNIs. So some people are rich. I mean, sometimes when you are going through certain documents, you find out some names that are strange to you. Okay, some time ago, I think it was just a few years ago that I got to know about the Nigerian that has Gatwick Airport. The Nigerian that it was just a few years ago. I mean, this is someone who is a billionaire, probably in dollars, right? So HNIs are people that you may not easily identify unless you have access to their family history, unless you have access to their organization, the business, or where they work. Okay. Then you also find them across geographies. All right. You can find them in cities. You can find them in suburban areas and all of those places. Okay. And then we say they are usually top 1% of every population. So this might be shifting based on the macroeconomic dynamics. Okay, so for example, if everything becomes so expensive and you are using, like in Zimbabwe, that they are using 1 million whatever to buy bread or something like that, so you can't consider someone who has 100 million to be an HNI, for example. Okay, so this keeps changing, but the idea is that this is a very small segment of the population who are sitting at top in the socio-economic strata. Okay. Then there's also another classification which is called the ultra HNIs. So these are the people that are I don't know how to describe them. We know them, the Elon Musk of this world. Okay, they have this money in excess. Okay, so there are people who are far away from them, but we can still consider them very rich. Those are the people that we consider HNIs. But there are those who are the ultra HNIs. Okay, they are ultra HNIs. So if you are classifying rich people in Nigeria, for example, you won't. I mean, it may be unfair to put Dangote as part of them. Okay, so Dangote will be considered to be an ultra HNI because these people are far beyond all the metrics that we use to describe as someone who is an HNI. For example, if we put Dangote at a global scale to be $1 million, the guy is what with his refinery now will be inching towards $30 billion worth. Okay, so those are ultra HNIs. Then when you look at luxury customers, okay, these are people who are comfortable with taste of lifestyle. I mean, luxury is a lifestyle. So you don't see someone who did luxury in January and then the rest of the year, is not interested in luxury. So luxury is a lifestyle. Luxury is something that somebody lives. If somebody is taken into luxury wears, you will see every clothes they have to be luxury. If somebody is taken into luxury dining and wining, you will see them eating in exclusive places. It becomes a lifestyle. Okay, if you see someone who is into luxury vacation, you will see them in choice places. It becomes a lifestyle. It's not something that they do once in a while. So we know that there are those outliers. Okay, some people are not luxury consumer, but once in a while they want to. So those kind of people, of course, obviously they are outliers. They cannot sustain luxury businesses. So if you are a luxury salesperson, you want to look for someone who is a luxury customer, who, takes into luxury lifestyle. Okay, so you continuously, sell to those people, you continuously engage them. Then they are easily identifiable because of the lifestyle. Okay, so if you know someone who drives a luxury car, he does not need to hide himself. Okay, so unlike the HNIs, that somebody can be sitting atop 2 billion, and then you never know that such person has such amount of money. Okay, so they also cut across geography. You can see them everywhere, and then it's also a very fluid segment because it keeps changing. Okay, it keeps changing. The economy, of course, can also determine if people will take to luxury lifestyle, if they do luxury shopping, if they do things that will make them to classify them as people who consume luxury items. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so what are the buying motivations for luxury? So now that we have been able to clearly define the fact that Some luxury consumers are HNIs, people that have money, and some others are not really HNIs. They are just people that, they are comfortable, but they are not HNIs, but they spend a lot in enjoying luxury. Okay, so who are these people? So luxury people, what are the motivations? Why do they buy the things they buy? So largely we will understand that luxury buyers buy mostly on emotions. There is no logic for someone to spend 500 million naira in buying a Rolls Royce car. The reasons are purely emotional. Okay, so if I have made money, if I have hit jackpots, if I have done a contract that has fetched me $3 million, then I want to show the people around me, my friends, all my village people, all the people that look down on me that never thought that my life can turn around. So what do? I buy something that distinguishes me from the rest of the people. I buy something that shows my worth or my positioning in the society. Okay. And then, of course, the second point also goes with it, expression of social elevation. So if your social status changes, okay, which is always determined by the size of your pocket, then you also want to show, you want to flex muscles. Okay. So you want to show that you have been elevated. Before, you used to suffer. Before, you used to live somewhere, in the in the slum, somewhere in Lagos. I don't want to mention any area. But now you have made money, then you want to live with the big boys. Okay. So that's the motivation. But people can later begin to find logic. They can say, oh, that place is more secure. But when you didn't have money and you were living in that slum, you cared nothing, about your security. You felt it was even more secure because you were living among the people that could possibly harm others, so they would not harm you. But now that you are rich, you could also, their motivation primarily, like I said, is purely emotional. But later you could begin to say, oh, I feel safer. But when you were not rich, you were also very safe in that place. Okay. It could also be a show of accomplishment. Sometimes it is also timelessness of possession. So what do I mean? Somebody can buy a car or a piece of luxury fashion item that he believes that anytime I wear this clothes in 10 years, in 15 years, this piece is still going to be relevant because it is not something that everybody has. Okay, so there are people who still drive old cars, expensive cars, Mercedes cars. When they drive them into event arenas, people are still looking like, oh, wow, someone still has this. Okay, so the timelessness of the possession, can also be the motivation for someone to buy. For example, if you have a Rolex watch, original Rolex, I mean to say, you know that anytime you show up with your Rolex, the people that recognizes the quality of what you're wearing would not say this is an old version of it. Okay, so you have something that is not seasonal. You have something that is out of fad, out of a raining wave or something like that. And, luxury items, they ride above the wave of seasons and, and fads. Okay, so the timelessness of possession can also be the motivation for people. I just want to buy something that anytime I show up with it, people are happy that I'm, or they recognize that I have something of quality. Okay, then hedonistic drive, which is the motivation for people to some people are just craving for pleasure. They just want to have a nice time. They want to feel happy. They want to enjoy. Some people are genetically wired like that. So every money they make, or, the first thing they think about is to make themselves happy, how to enjoy, how to flex. That's the motivation. And we said that all of these things are purely emotional. So these are the reasons, no matter how trivial they may look to you, these are the reasons why people buy, why they buy private jets, why they buy some of these. Now they can tell you that, oh, yeah, it's going to be smarter. I can go to places where I'm going to. Yeah, I mean, there could be business executives that they could find enough. But what about having a chartered flight in some instances? So you will see there are people who are not business people, who are, I don't want to, be specific now so that it doesn't look like I'm targeting some segment of people who are, there was someone some time ago who said he has got the third private jet. Okay, for God's sake, what does an individual in Nigeria need 3 private jets for? Okay, so some of these things, we're wondering why, but like I said, every man's position is valid. So long they have the money, so long they are not doing things that are, against the law to acquire those resources. Because as they are making those purchases, they are creating business for some other people. And then, of course, they are getting the economy, to be active. Okay. So then there are people who buy luxury because they have a taste for very high quality items. Okay. So somebody needs a pair of suits, the feel and the look. When you see a $1,000 suit, when you touch the texture of the material that is being used to make it, there will be a lot of difference from a suit that is 50,000 naira. Okay, so the taste for high quality items can also be a motivation for people who buy luxury. Oh, I need something that is rugged. Oh, I need something that will last. Because definitely when you pay a good sum to get a product, definitely you are expecting to have some period of enjoyment or period of use for the product that will outlive products that are of lesser cost. Okay, so and that's the reason why people naturally feel that more expensive products are of better quality. So people that are craving for high quality items are usually also in the line of buying luxury, because at the end of the day, those top quality items would be luxury items. For example, if you are buying a shoe and then they tell you, oh, this shoe is coming from a crocodile lion, or I'm sorry, crocodile skin, or some rare animal skins, rare animal leather, then you know that, oh, this kind of leather, for them to be able to get this animal and then use it to make your bag or your shoe or something, then you know that you're going to pay some reasonable sum to be able to get those kind of items. Okay, so what is the red flag for us as salespeople, right? So I mean, if you see an HNI that is not into luxury, right, what should we think? So probably the person is a highly religious person. Okay, he believes that there is nothing in this world. Everything we have in this world, none of it we are taking away. So why should I, pursue luxury? Why should I satisfy the lust of the flesh? According to religion. Okay, and sometimes the person can be an uneducated individual. So he has this money, but he's not aware that he can spend it on luxury. He can spend it on a Rolex, for example. So he feels that what is a watch for? To check time. But we know that people that buy Rolex watch don't buy it to check time. Okay. So you see people like that who are very rich, but they are not educated. So the appetite for luxury is not there. In fact, they don't even know that those luxury items exist. In fact, some of them, when they even see luxury, they can't even distinguish. Okay, so we have those kind of people in the villages. Maybe they are farmers who have massive farmlands, who have massive investments, in the local areas. They are not educated. They have the money and they don't understand what luxury is. They don't understand why they have to go on vacation. They are satisfied living in their villages and enjoying, the cool breeze. So you could have those kind of people that are HNIs, but because they are not educated, so they are not craving for luxury. Okay. You could also have them, they are educated, but they are aggressive. They are people, they are sleeping and waking up for investment. Okay. So you see those people, the next money that comes to them, they are looking for ways to invest. Okay. So those are the kind of people that you also find. Maybe we don't have too many of them around here. I mean, if we talk about Buffett of this world, Warren Buffett, people like that, all around the world, you have them, okay? But you will, know that these people are the ones who are rich. They are not taking to luxury, but they are aggressive investors. So these are the things that you should be, you should take caution when you see someone you have been able to identify that this person is rich. So it is a natural expectation for you to think that this person should consume luxury, right? But if you look at the reasons why the person is not into luxury, like I said, maybe the person is religious, uneducated, the person is an aggressive investor, and then it could also be an asocial person. That is, the person is not just into social life, okay? Very private person. There are people like that who are they are rich, but they are very, very private. Okay. So you don't see them, attending parties. You don't see them in occasions. So what is the need for buying a Rolls Royce car, for example? Okay. What is the need for buying a car that they will not drive to any event? So the reason why some of these people buy the very expensive cars is because when they drive to events, every eye is turning in their direction. Okay. Every eye is turning in their direction. So you would also have such a person that could also be a frugal person who does not like to spend. So naturally, we describe them here as akagon, people that hold on to all the money that they have. Okay. So these are the people that we don't want to flash luxury items to them, even though they have the money, even though we consider them to be HNIs, even though we consider them to be rich, but because they are either very religious person or because they are uneducated. For example, if you are trying to sell a luxury, for example, an iPhone or an X phone to an illiterate, the person is wondering, what do I need for this phone for? I use my phone to communicate, and I'm fine with that. We are talking about pictures. The man is not even looking good. So what does he need pictures for? Okay. So you need to look at some of these things, and so that we are not struggling in places where we do not need to struggle. Once you see all of these flags, like I said, red flags, then you may want to move to the next person to do your business. Okay. Then I have mentioned this, that emotion is the driving force for luxury lifestyle. Okay. Nobody buys luxury to solve any logical problem. That's the fact. Nobody buys luxury. Nobody spends money on luxury to solve any problem that is about life or death. Luxury has gone beyond that. Luxury is not existing in the realm of do or die. Okay. So, but the people that are into luxury, like I said, is pure emotion. They are satisfied with the basic things of life, and then they also want to see where they can spend the excess money that they have, Okay. So, and we also say that sometimes they don't even know the reason why they want to buy. So if you are a luxury salesperson, your job would also be to help them to build up reasons, to build up logical reasons. Oh, this car is good. Oh, the power of the engine, all of those stuff. Or this watch is good, it's timeless. Is if you have any issues with this watch, there's warranty. All of those logics that you want to preach to them. But the most important factor is emotion. Okay, and there are people who have attained certain level of comfort and are no longer bothered about. So these are the people that we're talking about. Okay, they are the people that consume luxury. They are the people who are not struggling to pay school fees. They are the people who are not about paying rent. Okay, they have settled those aspects of their life, and then they have some excess cash that they can expend on luxury and then help others to do their business. So let's explore the emotion more. Like I was saying, this is the Maslow's hierarchy of need. I'm sure many of us are familiar with this. Okay, and we look at the motivation why people buy. The people at the base of the pyramid, where you have the masses, they are driven by physiological needs. Okay, so everybody is working to feed. Everybody is working to to find somewhere, to even rent a place. It falls there. Okay, everybody is looking for the job to do at this level to be able to wear good, at least to be able to go out, and show up somewhere. All right, and then of course they need, to raise a family. So physiological needs are the base. This is where you find majority of the people, and that's why the socio-economic strata of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is also like a triangle. So at the base of the triangle, you have the majority. Okay, you have the huge population of people, who are, trying to survive. Okay, and when things begin to change for people at that level, they also move up. Okay, so someone who was thinking about what to eat on a daily basis has now got enough resources, so he doesn't worry about food again. So the next thing to worry about is safety. So like I said, in the other example, that somebody that used to live, in an area that you consider to be a slum in Lagos, then they make little money. and then he begins to feel insecure because now he has some money, he has a bank account. Okay, so he has some money, he has some things to preserve. So he begins to care about the health. People that are at the base of the pyramid, let's say, for example, people that are working, construction workers, laborers, and all of those type of people, when they want to drink water, they just pick a bag of sachet water anywhere, pure water, as we used to call it, and they drink. But when you begin to now, when you are getting more comfortable, you now begin to look at, does this water have NAFDAC number? And then you begin to feel that you are safer drinking a bottled water. Okay, so you begin to find the need for your health. Then when pure water was all you could afford, there are some sayings that even people say, at that level, that those kind of things will not kill them. Okay, because that's all they could afford. All right, so now that you are more comfortable, you begin to look for safer ways. And there are people, when they begin to grow up the ladder, they will not drink water even from anywhere except from their homes. So you begin to get more conscious. Then the next level is love and belonging. So you want intimacy, you want a sense of connection, you want to join a social club, you want to have a social representation. Okay, and then the next will be esteem and self-actualization. Now we know people around us who are in the, in that level of self-actualization. Our current president, when he was saying Emilocon, right? For me, that's a statement of self-actualization. Okay, obviously this man is rich. Obviously this man was a governor. He has achieved certain things that so many other people are still craving to achieve. So he's now looking at, what else can I become for me to feel like I'm going to be fulfilled in my life, that I'm going to do this. Okay, so people at that level are not thinking about, where do I live? They are not thinking about safety, because they have used their resources to secure all of those things. Now, when we are talking about luxury buying, those are the kind of people, the people at the self-actualization and esteem level are most likely the people that will be luxury customers, that will have luxury as a lifestyle because they have the resources, okay, to sustain it. So if you are selling luxury to someone who is at the base of the pyramid, you are talking to the wrong person, even though the person just made money, just made a little break, okay? Until that revenues become consistent, then that person begins to crave for a new lifestyle. And then along the line, luxury can come in, okay? So I believe we understand, this transition. So how do we reach out to luxury customers? So many ways, that we can use in, attracting them. Personal marketing. So because we know that these customers are very important, okay? They are very rich. For example, you want to sell something to a Dangote. How do you want to use an email? Where will you get his email? How do you want to use social media? Facebook. You have a product that is targeted to someone like Dangote. How do you get a Dangote? I mean, we also will all know. I mean, most of us here, we are on social media. Have you seen on social media, on Facebook, where they are advertising Rolex? No. You will see other watches of 100,000, 150, but the Rolex is not going to advertise to you on social media because they know who their customers are. Okay? Because they know that if they go on social media and advertise to everybody, then they are going to harvest all kinds of comments. And if they ever make any mistake of putting the price, maybe they put their price, they put one of the premium, or they put 7 million naira, people are going to ask questions. In Nigeria, the kind of questions social media people ask. It's okay, so if I wear this watch, will they open the gate of heaven for me for free? Or will I see the time that the world is going to end? So personal marketing does a lot of magic when you are selling luxury items, okay? And what is very important is, how do you reach your target market? So whatever you are doing, whether you are doing email or whatever you are doing, you are personalizing it. I also often say it. Okay, so for example, let's say you are lucky to have the email of Otedola, for example, and you want to sell something to Otedola, you can't put Otedola's email in a bulk emailing platform. You can't say, "Dear all." They are never going to read those kind of emails because they believe that there are certain level of life that anybody that wants to sell anything to them must give them what is relevant to them. So if you have 50 or 100 prospects that are HNIs, You would rather send personal emails to them. You would rather direct emails to them. You would rather take time to, because of the value of what the business you are going to do with them. It's worth it. So if you are selling a mass product, then it's fine to send mass email. But when you are selling luxury, you can't do mass email to everybody. It is the most inappropriate way to reach out to luxury people, because many of them will find it insulting. Okay, so as we are saying, personal marketing is very crucial. And what personal marketing also does to you, if you are engaging with them, it will also help you to deploy your emotional intelligence. Okay, so you are there physically with the person, you are talking to the person, you'll be able to measure their emotion, you'll be able to engage them, and then be able to see how you can, make progress with the opportunity. Social media advertising, yes. Okay, so your social media advertising is also going to be advanced. So you're going to find ways of targeting them. Okay, but the mass media, or just dropping it anywhere, may be most inappropriate for you. Influencer marketing. So, for example, there are people who are selling luxury cars in Nigeria now, and then there's a young man, all out of Lagos, who would help them to promote this product. And I'm sure the reason why more people are using him is because those people that have used him are recording some success. Okay, so we could use influencer marketing to sell some luxury items, maybe some luxury wares, accessories, and all of that. So influencer marketing can be very, very productive in that regard. Then print and electronic advertising. Okay, I find it very interesting. Some products that you think don't advertise know where they advertise. Okay, so if you, for example, on an international flight, so for example, the Rolex that we're talking about, you will most likely see a Rolex advert inside the magazine, in-flight magazines. Okay, you will see them. You are flying on Emirates, you are flying on British Airways or whatever. You will see some of these adverts in their in-flight magazines. Okay, so those kind of products, because they know that the people that are traveling abroad are people that are, to some extent comfortable. Okay, so those are the people that will likely buy their products. So rather than advertising in your Punch, for example, or your Guardian or whatever, they would rather spend the money, even though it's going to cost them more, they would rather spend the money in an in-flight magazine. Okay, or they would rather spend the money in some certain exclusive magazines that are distributed, to the A-class citizens. Okay, so print media is effective, but have to understand the channel and the specific media that you're going to use. Okay, and then of course the influencer marketing. These people, everybody finds some form of entertainment. So if you know that the kind of people that you are targeting enjoys this kind of entertainment, that kind of influencer can be the person. And then of course we have seen, internet at the international level, we have seen people, we have seen Ronaldo, advertise products and all of that. So at that level, that there are people who are following these icons that we consider, and then they can help to also promote. So the idea is for the business to be able to create awareness about the product, and then to be able to target the right set of people. So the cost per contact for luxury marketing will be much, much higher than you do for a mass marketing. Okay, because market targeting in luxury is more precise. So you already have an idea of the market, the people that you are talking to. So it may cost you more. For example, to see someone like a Dangote, you may want to go to a club where he chills on a weekend. And then this club, because you are not a member, they will say, if you want to have access, you may have to pay 700,000 naira for a weekend access or something, for a one-off access. So that's an investment. But if you want to do a social media advert, if you put 700,000 for a mass market product, you know how much sales we are going to make from that end. Okay, so to be able to reach these customers is expensive. They are expensive, but we know that if we achieve success with them in the sales proposition, then we're going to, have the return for our investment. Okay. Right. So how do we become the salesman that will be able to do this magic, right? The journey to becoming someone who can do, achieve success with HNIs is self-investment. Okay, you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. Okay, and investment in yourself is to build confidence. So this acidic proverb says, the man who has confidence in himself gains the confidence of others. So for you to be able to get the confidence of others, first, it has to be internal. And what gives you confidence is the kind of investment in terms of knowledge, okay, in terms of grooming and all of those things that you have made, on yourself for you to be able to, connect with those kind of luxury customers. So what are the attributes that will make you to achieve success? We talk about personal charm and intelligence. The rich, the people who enjoy luxury, they want to relate with people that look like them. Okay, so you are not rich as them, but they want you to appear and be able to, have a conversation with them. They want you to look like somebody that they are comfortable sitting around. So if you are someone who is selling very expensive luxury items, yet you may not be able to afford them, but you should look good. All right, you should have the charm that can make them to be comfortable. You can't be wearing tattered clothes and then be selling premium clothes. It doesn't work together. Okay, so you have to, be prepared in that regard. Dynamic personality that can adjust to situations. Okay, so you must be someone who is ready to adjust. Okay, you could have a luxury customer who may have some extremist behaviors. Well, not risky extremist behaviors, just to say sorry. So so you could have someone who is a luxury customer, but who is a church person. That's just what I want to say. Okay, because we don't consider that. You might think that that does not go together. Oh no, you could have somebody who is very religious and yet into luxury. Okay, you could also have, and then we have different kinds of religion. So you could have a Muslim, or you could have a Christian. So as someone who wants to appeal to these people, you must be able to adjust. So if the person is a church person or the person is a mosque person, you must be able to adjust. That's the dynamic, thing that I'm, proposing there. Or someone who is a night person, or someone who is a clubbing person, and this is the person that can buy your product. Then you just have to find a way to adjust to be able to reach them. Okay, you must have good manners and business etiquette. These people are very sensitive to everything. You are sneezing, you are sitting down, you are walking, everything about you, they are looking at it, because it either, draws them closer to you or sends them away. Your communication, your eloquence, your body language when you are talking. Are you someone who is laid back with your body language? You are dragging, or those kind of things. So everything that you do when you are talking, the way you are communicating with your body should also exude confidence. Okay, and then luxury people are not taking to aggressive selling. They don't want to be rushed. They want to take their time in thinking about your proposition and then being able to make the good decision. So if you are the one that likes to sell aggressively, luxury space is not for you. Then good fitness and grooming. You must look good. You must, look good, because when you are going to them. High emotional intelligence potent, you must be able to respond to their situations. It doesn't matter if you have been spending 3 months to reach a person, and then the day you reach the person, the HNI, then the person is not in the right frame of mind to have the conversation with you. It doesn't matter, even if you have been pursuing them for 1 year. You must be intelligent enough to know that I am selling emotion to this person. And so if this person is not in the right frame of mind emotionally, I will not be able to achieve success. So when you go, when you ignore that at that moment, then the cost, that person might perceive you to be too aggressive. It doesn't matter how long you have been making efforts, to see them. Okay. Then customer service. Every luxury customer wants to be pampered because they feel that they are spending a fortune. Okay. And so they want to enjoy, the benefit of the fortune that they are spending. Okay. So we talked about this high emotional intelligence. We talked about endurance. Your persistence, because like I said, I mentioned the case of, trying to see someone. You could be on the trail of someone for a year, but you know that when you are lucky enough to have the opportunity of access, the reward that you're going to get from that will compensate for the period of the efforts of trying to reach them or trying to have access to them. Okay. Customer service, you have to make them feel pampered. Oh, sorry, I don't know where these things are being repeated. Okay. Then you must own the customer experience as your responsibility. This is very important. So what do I mean? So you may think that your company should have done something to make customers more comfortable, right? So in many cases, this may not be 100%, right? So your ability to put your personal touch to compensate for any lapses of your organization is your responsibility. Because you know that at the end of the day, when you're able to close this deal, it will be rewarding both for you and for your organization. So sometimes when your organization is not making the right provision, it is not for you to lay back, well, the company has not provided, because you know that this customer is important. And we know why these customers are important. If you have access to one HNI and that person is happy, is connecting you with all other persons in his network. So that's why we have to take them. That's why we have to pamper them. And that's why we have to phone their experience. That's why we have to be responsible for how the kind of experience that they have, whether your company has provided enough resources for you or not. I'm not saying you should go and kill yourself because, but there are certain things that you can cover up with your woman, by being nice, by being courteous, and all of those things that you believe can give the customer some good experience. Okay. You also have to become your brand ambassador if you can afford it. Okay. So if you're selling rose waters, I don't know whether you have money to buy it. But as much as possible, if there are items that you can afford, you may not have all your items will not be hit, but once in a while, you could have it just for you to say that you believe in your product. I mean, you imagine someone who wants to sell a Mercedes, or who wants to sell, let's say, a Toyota Prado to someone, and then it comes in another, vehicle, Mercedes, and then the person is asking, you are making me, you want me to buy this Prado, but you are not driving the car that you want me to buy. So what confidence do I have? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So in an instance where you are able to afford the kind of luxury product that you are selling, why would you be using competition? Okay, because when you do that, it doesn't give confidence to the person that you are trying to sell to. So be your brand ambassador. If you can afford it, you use it, because that also helps you, because you are also talking from an experiential level to tell the customer, hey, this is my car, I drive it, this is our brand, I'm proud of it. It doesn't give, you can be able to speak about it, unlike something that you have read from the book or that you have been told or that you have been trained to tell people. Okay, so if you have the opportunity or you have the capability, use your brand, be your brand ambassador, and then of course invest in your personal appearance. Okay, your first impression, 55% is of your look, the first impression that you create with people. Okay, when people see you, they first look at how you look before they even hear what you have to say. So your appearance can be a turn off. Your appearance can be an attraction to people. Okay, so they see you, they want to listen, or they see you, they don't want to, they want to get rid of you in the next few minutes. So your appearance is important. And I also tell people, if you are also going to talk to an HNI, for example, if I want to talk to, I have a business, something that I can sell to an Elumelu, for example. I know this person for every business hour appears corporate. So why should I go in a gym, for example, and t-shirts, when I know that the person that I want to sell to, I am during business hour I am most likely going to meet him looking corporate. Why will I not buy my black suit? Why will I not have a white shirt? Why will I not have a red tie and mirror him? Why will I not have a red socks like he used to wear? He wears a red tie and red socks. Why will I not mirror all of that? So that when he sees me, he has an impression that I have done my own work, that I'm really coming to see him. So it is important that we invest in our look. 55% of your first impression is from how you look. And then 38% of how you sound. Okay, how you talk to people. They are looking at the tone of your voice. They are looking at the pitch of your voice. Are you the one that is shouting? Or you are the one that recognizes that you are talking to an important person and speaking loud enough? Loud enough. I emphasize that. Loud enough. So you are not also speaking too low, that they are asking you, they are telling you or reminding you that your voice is too low. Okay, so all of these things require some, mastery, that we know that I have to talk at the right pitch. and then of course the content of what you're saying. So sometimes you may not be making too much sense, but because you have appeared good, because the tone of your voice is good, they can excuse some of the things. But if you don't look good, if you don't sound good, the content of what you are saying will not make much sense to them. Because these people, like we said, they are lifestyle people. So they are looking for people that can become their friend. Yes, you are a salesman, but they want someone that they can feel comfortable talking to. Okay? Be convinced of the quality and pricing of your brand. Some people are intimidated by the price of the product that they sell. Say, how can I tell somebody and this is the cost of this? No. Then you need to go and sell something else. So for you to be able to sell luxury, you must be convinced that the price that your company is charging for this product is worth it. Okay? That confidence can be perceived by your customers, whether you like it or not. They can perceive it. They can be sure that even they can tell even you yourself, you know that this product is too expensive. They've seen it in you for them to voice that out. Okay? So, but if you are someone who has built the confidence, you'll be able to, exude it and communicate it in your actions. Okay? So you must recognize the emotional motivation of the customer. Okay, so we mentioned all of that, the hedonistic drive, timelessness of possession, all of those things. You must be able to read it from your client to say, okay, what is the emotional motivation of this person? Does this person want to show off? Okay, does this person want to show a sense of accomplishment? So if you want to understand the motivation, you are able to talk to it. Okay, you make effort to know as much as possible they are worth it for you to make research. What time of the day does this person want to talk to somebody? How should I go? Do I need to go alone? Do I need to go? There are people that are worth you taking that painstaking care to understand them before reaching out to them, because you will not have that first opportunity 2 times. So you may just have the opportunity for 5 minutes. You want to make all the preparation that is necessary so that you can have a win. You help the customer to build their logical reason. I said that earlier. That after you have pandered to their emotion, then you begin to let them have some logic, because when they want to tell their friends that they have bought this product, they must have 1 or 2 reasons that make sense. Okay, so all of these are important. And then stay up to date with your industry. You must be someone that is knowledgeable, because some of these luxury people are already vested in what you want to sell to them. For example, if somebody is in a fashion, is into luxury fashion, he knows all the brands, you know where their factories are, you know their limitations and all of that. And you are there and you are talking about your own brand and you don't know about the other brands. Then the person is lecturing you and you are just, wow, wow. And you are just like doing, wow, you have lost that sale. Okay. So you must, learn, and you must be knowledgeable about your industry. You can create, your online profile should also exude, should also talk a lot about you, because the people that you are meeting, the next time you leave, they are checking you up. They say, who is this person? Okay, can we know about you? And then your online presence does not represent anything about you. And I think that's a huge mismatch. Okay, so you must embark on the journey of continuous improvement. You can never get to the end of it. All right, I'm just trying to see if we can, we started out there. I think we'll still achieve our 1 hour timing. Okay, so becoming a super salesman, we must also develop consultative selling competence. So consultative selling is all about positioning you like an advisor. You are not a salesman when you are selling to luxury people. You are advising them on lifestyle. And in the process of advising them, your objective is to be able to recommend your product. So you are not really selling. So you don't need to position yourself like a salesman. A salesman is the one that is aggressive that I spoke about earlier. So if you are positioning yourself as an advisor, right, then you are trying to help them, to encourage them to live the kind of life that they want to live. And then your product comes into the conversation. Okay. And part of the strategy for being a consultative salesperson is, asking the right questions. Okay, what kind of car have you driven? What are your dream cars? What would you like to be using this car for? Those kind of questions, so that you are not just coming and say, oh, I have this car, it's the latest 12 point something horsepower, whatever, and the man is just looking at you. So a consultative selling approach puts the customer first, because you are asking questions, you are asking the right question, and you are listening actively. And then when you have the opportunity, you now educate the clients on the possible options of products. So you are showing genuine care. You are not there to take their money because you know these people are very rich, and then if you sell the wrong product for them, they can make life miserable for you. So you are sure, you want to be sure that what you're selling is exactly what this customer needs, and then you want to give them the wow feeling. And because you also know that it doesn't end there. So if you achieve success with one HNI, trust me, you are getting more, because they are introducing you to their friends, they are introducing you to their family members. Okay, and you have to be authentic. You have to be authentic. They are not the kind of people you go and be arguing with. Okay, so if you're arguing with them, why are you not on the other side? Why are you not the HNI if you know much more than them? Why are you not the HNI and then they, the person trying to sell to you? Okay, so I'm not saying that you should be, bullied or whatever, but I'm saying that there's no point for argument. Some people are holding on to certain beliefs or whatever, but you can make your point known by, and ensuring that you don't turn it to arguments. Okay. So how do you make your presentations? You have to personalize it. We've been talking about this. You can't have a general presentation for everybody. I can't have something to sell to Adenuga, for example, and I'm bringing a presentation that I have used for some other persons. No, I must personalize everything about this solution. Whether I'm selling a house or whatever it is that I'm selling, I must look at his motivation. I must talk to his motivation. I must personalize it. HNIs don't want to be treated like a number because they know they have worked their way up to the top. They have left the masses strata. So when you are talking to them, you talk to them like an institution. You talk to them like an entity, not an individual. They don't want to be treated like numbers. Okay? So you have to be confident. You have to have the panache, for you to be able to engage them. And then you must have the right mentality. Right mentality means that, look, you are going there to enhance this person, okay, by the product that you have. You are not going there to go and collect money. It's not national purse, okay? And your organizations must also help, provide the right tools that can help you to be able to sell. And when I mean the right tools, if you are selling HNI, if you are selling very expensive products, and the company is not providing you the right tools, then you go to the, for example, you want to go and sell, a building of 2 billion to someone, and then you are jumping off on top of Okada, and then luckily for you, rain started falling, okay, and then you are drenched, and then the person you are taking to go and inspect a 2 billion naira property is waiting for you, and then he sees you and he say, oh, can you enter the car? And then you are soaked, you are drenched, and you want to enter the car of somebody, So I think, the organization should be able to provide the right tools that can enhance, salespeople that are selling lottery items. Okay. So organizations must also hold the process, like I say. The idea is for the organization to ensure that what this salesman is telling this person is not far from what another salesman is telling the other person. Even though individuals will have to bring in their, individual flavors to it. Okay, so how do you prepare? Very important. Preparation is very important. The knowledge of the customer I consider to be more important than even your product knowledge. Product knowledge is good, and I think you should write this down. If not, there is nothing you are taking away from this session. Product knowledge is good, but customer knowledge is better when you are selling luxury items, because you are talking to someone who wants specific. I've seen people describing ice cream and HNI, someone I consider to be an. I've seen the person describing the taste of ice cream, and I'm like, what? At my level, if I want to take, I'll just give me ice cream. But somebody is describing the taste, the texture, the whatever. So such people can be at that level of detail. And so when you understand the kind of customer that you want to engage, that helps you to prepare better, so that you are talking to their motivation. I keep saying this. The motivations are different. Somebody is buying luxury because he needs a product that is timeless. But you are going there and then telling the person that, that this product, you are the only one that has it. And then you are mentioning other person and they say, who cares? Who cares a hoot about that? I'm talking about, I want a product that I can something that I want, to be timeless, but you are talking about the other person. So that's why it's important to, as much as possible, as much as you can get, know them, so that when you are engaging them, you are not beating about the bush. You are focused on the motivation for the key for the person, and then you are selling to it. Okay, you identify the values of the customer. I mean, that's what it was. So some people are religious, some people are, they enjoy life, they are very social. So you also pander, to that, because you want to catch their attention. And if you are a salesperson in a walking luxury, when people walk in, sometimes some people come in the modest, or let me say the simplest. You don't know they are sitting at top billions. Okay, you need to ask questions. Why? To reveal their taste. I know that some people also walk in, they want to have a look, they don't want people disturbing them. These are things that you can also decipher, by moving close. Oh, you're welcome. Do you want to have a look yourself, or you want me to help you? I think these are some of the questions that people because sometimes you walk into a store, you don't want people to bump into you and begin to push you around about things that you want to do the window shopping yourself first before you settle down and begin to ask questions. So, I mean, every salesperson also wants to be this person to say, let me attend to this person. So you can also ask, oh, do you want to take a walk yourself, or you want me to help you? And then the person can make a choice. Okay. And what type of product? So you have to be able to ask the right questions so that you make people feel comfortable, you make them feel pampered. And then I also talked about the tools, which is very, very important. And salespeople have to be informed about the kind of tools that they need for engagement. So following up, this is another very important thing that we always talk about. That how do you follow up? For example, this is not a walk-in store. You are trying to sell a very, a mansion to a rich man. Okay, so how do I follow up? I've talked to this person. Now, I believe the best approach to handle HNIs is to ask them how you should follow up. You have to be specific. Okay, sir, I would like to follow up, or man, I would like to follow up on this opportunity. How do you and when? And that would also give you an idea if the person is a serious buyer. Okay, so when you hear anytime for a big man, I don't think that's good enough. Okay, so when they give you specifics, okay, don't call me in the morning hours. Oh, call me in the morning hours. Call me between 7. If they tell you between 7 and 8 o'clock, I would rather call at that on the dot of that 7. Okay, so and when you call on 7, they know that, oh, this guy has been preparing. So you have to be conscious of how and when they prefer that you follow up with them. You don't want to do it anyhow. Okay, if they prefer text message, don't call them. If they say send me a text message they have asked you to send is sufficient. That's what they have requested. Don't go and be calling. Don't go, I have sent the text message, I just want to confirm if you receive it. The person has instructed you, send me a text message, send me an email. Don't go outside the instruction that an HNI has given you. They are important customers. We have called them high net worth individuals. And we know that we are not only dealing with them. We know that when we are successful with them, we achieve success with their friends, because the sales that you make to their friends are very easy. They will just tell you, hey, guy, someone is coming. I bought my stuff from him. And then you go to the person, you just make your sale. You are not doing the job that you did with the first person the second time on the referrals. Okay? So you must have their consent. Otherwise, it could be an intrusion. I mean, maybe you are a young lady and you just sold a luxury item, and then you are calling at odd hours, and then you are, why are you calling? So these people know when you have to follow up, if there is any need for you to follow up. You have to do it professionally. Okay, you are not just calling. I just said, let me say hi to you. Hi for what? Don't be following up and be saying happy new month, happy new week, all those funny stuff that people send. You can't be doing that to an HNI. The fact that they give you their phone number, there are people that have given me their phone numbers that I have refused to send things to that are not very important. So you will only see me sending significant things, maybe on Father's Day. Oh, happy Father's Day if they are male, happy Mother's Day. That could probably be the only message that I will send in months. So you won't see me sending happy new month, happy new. No, those things can be disturbances or intrusion, if I may say. So you must ask them. You must understand how they need you to follow up. Because if you don't do it according to the way if they want you to call and you are not calling, I told you to call. You are sending text message. I don't read text messages. There are people who have those kind of preferences. Okay, and you must follow up. And maybe if you have even sold a product, that's another follow up. There's a follow up that the person has not paid, has not bought the product, and there's also a follow up that you have sold this product and you want to find out if the person is enjoying the product or if the promise that you have made is being kept. Yeah, so you can also ask them, I would like to follow up if you are enjoying this product, and then you ask them how they would like you to also follow up. Okay, and then you have to do it sincerely. So especially when you are following up after they have bought a product. So don't be using that opportunity to ask, I just want to say if you want to buy again. No, you have told the person that you want to follow up because you want to know if they are enjoying the product, and then you should end it at that. Just be sure that you have satisfied them very well. And then at a later time, when you are not following up again, you can use the opportunity to ask for referral. Okay. And then be ready to solve problems. So when you call again, sometimes you are calling to follow up, and then what you are hearing is a problem. Then you have to make sure that you're on that problem, because when you don't solve it, you can't call back again. All right. So when you are calling to check if the product is doing well and you run away, that's mockery. Okay, and then they are going to probably deal with you for doing that. And then about the last slide. So we need to focus on value. And I think this is very important. When you are sending an email to them, don't be sending a reminder email that looks like you are pinching them. Okay, so if I'm sending an email or sending a text message to someone who has not made a purchase or who has made a post purchase, I am providing information that is valuable for them, and I'm not repetitive. So if there's a new information about the product or something that I felt I missed while selling to them, that should be the information that I'm adding. So every message that you are sending should be valuable. Okay? You are not disturbing them. You are not just sending, you are not forwarding messages that have been forwarded to 5 million people, except if you feel that this thing is very, very relevant to this person. That's not the way to socialize. I mean, some of us like we socialize. Once you see any funny video, you send it to your friends. That's not for your HNI. He's not interested. Okay, so let the HNI and their friends, let them be the ones sending comedy skits among themselves. So if you are sending anything of, to the person unsolicited, it must be something of value. That's just the point. It must be something of serious value that you think they are interested in, not comedy, not entertainment. Okay? Allow the HNI to lead as to the degree of access allowed. So some of us want to be close to them. Some of them want to have access to their family. Let them be the one to determine. Don't be asking about their children if they are not letting you know that they have kids. Don't be asking about their family if they are not showing it. Some people are very loud about their family and possession. So on their own, they will give you the access. Don't be pushful in connecting, because some of us feel that, once I bound with this person, I can, have access to the friends. No, let them be the one to determine the degree of access that they will give you. And no one size fits all approach to them. You must personalize everything. And then if you have issues, you resolve the issues speedily. And then confidentiality of engagement. Now, how do they know that you are confidential about their engagement? When you don't talk about the other clients in their presence. So it's not about promising them that, sir, everything we discuss here is confident. You don't have to even say that. The only proof that you are confidential is when you are talking to them, you are not making reference to what the other client told you. I'm trying to allow that to sink. So when you sit in front of an HNI, don't make reference to another person. Even if they are asking you questions, you also have to find a way to be secretive, because sometimes they are auto testing you to say that, okay, if I push this guy and he gives me an information about somebody, maybe they are, envious of the person, and then you divulge the information, that's the end of you, because they know that if you go to the other person and then the person pushes you too, then you can also, expose them too. So you need to learn how to be confident and how to be very diplomatic when you are managing, because sometimes some of them can be they may want to use you, okay, because they know you have access to this person, so they want to use you as the bait to get information. But you have to be, you have to manage it professionally, because you know that encroaching on somebody's privacy and divulging it, they too will lose confidence in you. You may think you are doing them a favor, but you are doing yourself a disservice. because the person will also know that, oh, so if he goes to this person, he's also going to do the same to me. All right. So I think we need to manage that. And then don't promise what you cannot deliver. I think this is very important. A lot of times, salespeople will try to be very fast with our mouths, try to promise because we want to impress people. But at the end of the day, we know that what we are promising is beyond our ability. So I think we need to avoid that with HNIs. So I think that is the end of this session for today. I know it has dragged a bit longer, but I believe we still finished in good time. All right. So so I don't know if you have anyone that has a question to ask. Let me see. You may want to raise your hand if you have a question. Otherwise, we can call it a day. Oh, really? All right. I think we can call it a day here. So thank you so much, everyone. I believe we will see in another session of Sales Jojo. Bye.